Hello and welcome to my channel, PawfectPastimes. My name's Amanda and my friends call me Amo. I live in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. I have one in here, so if you hear any strange noises, it's probably her snoring. Again, thank you for coming back, and those who have subscribed recently, I'm very grateful. It really is quite overwhelming how many of you have joined me now, and it really does spur you on to want to make more things and get things done and sorted, and I'm just so grateful, and for the comments. I try and answer as many as I can. Yes, thank you for joining me. First of all, what I'm wearing, this is a Rico Modern Tweed Aran. It's quite an old one. It's pre me writing in my journals what I used to make, so it must be 4 or 5 years old, I guess. It's a pattern 964. That's Rico Modern Aran Tweed, and I do love a cable. It's been a busy couple of weeks, and I know I've got a lot on the needles. I just wanted something that was quite quick and interesting to do, and I have on my phone and my iPad the Tin Can Knits app, and there are quite a few free patterns in there, well worth a look if you haven't got it. And one of them was the Tin Can Knits Antler Toque, which is a lovely little hat with these gorgeous cables going right the way round. Now the pattern asks for just a normal brim, but I have trouble with brims either coming over my eyes or rising up at the back or doing strange things, and I usually end up with the fold up halfway up the hat trying to get it out of my eyes. So I've done a double brim, and as I came to where the cable started, I just picked up the cast on edge and then carried on in single knitting. But this is actually a double brim, and it's so comfortable to wear. I don't like a pom-pom because under my dog walking hat a pom-pom causes a bit of a lump, and it feels uncomfortable. Now this I made out of a sock yarn. No, it isn't, sorry, it's a double knit yarn, a Chilean Arancania, and it's called Millodin Colour 7. I'm not even sure where I got it from. I know it came as a double knit weight. I hope you can see that. I've had it an awful long time, and that's what it's like caked up. I had 2 of these, so I decided to use that because I dread to think how long it's been in my stash. Must be the best part of probably 10 years, to be honest. And I found a Kid Silk Haze in a green. It's quite a dark tealy green, and held it double, and that gave us a lovely bloom to the knitting, and it certainly makes it nice and warm. So I was pleased to have that on the needles, and it was a lovely quick knit to get done and take my mind off of things. The other thing that's just about finished, I haven't got many finishes this time, I'm afraid, is our little village hall display. I will put a picture, but it is sitting here waiting for the eggs. 3 of the ladies are making lots of eggs. I will insert a picture, probably here. So there's lots of chicks and flowers made by a couple of the other ladies, and they're keeping the chicken company, and that will be going up probably the end of this week, ready for Easter. So that's my other finish this time. Works in progress. I have done a few more stripes on the cozy stripe blanket. Now this is the one that I saw Paula from Stitched by Mrs. D making last year, and she used her 4-ply sock minis, and she interspersed the stripes with plain white. It's an Attic 24 pattern called the Cozy Stripe Blanket. I'll put all the links down below. And I'm making mine with a cream merino and a cream mystery yarn and some Advent minis held. This is the cream and the merino held double, and this is the merino and an Advent held double. And there's two rows of double gap grannies and 2 rows of just trebles, English. And it gives a lovely unifying mild effect. And there's a grey and a mid pink and a green, minty green. I've just done a deep red. I've just popped the balls all together in a bag, and I'm just taking them out as and when I get to them. I tried putting them in order, but some of the colours were too close together and it would have looked a huge block in the stripes. So I've mixed and matched as they come, and I'm much happier with that, and I think it will be a happier blanket for it, to be honest. Another one I'm underway is my Myoki. Now Myoki is a Finnish word, and it means a small wooden cabin. They have them all around Finland, or a lot of the Netherlands actually, around the lakes and in the forests and along the beachland. And I spotted this little project bag by Lilly the Bee, which has lovely seashells on it. I will link her down below. Thank you, Lilly. And we stay in a little Myoki in Pembrokeshire on the beach, and I thought the little seashells would be absolutely perfect for my Myoki jumper. And Lilly kindly put in an extra little sea glass progress keeper, which was lovely. Thank you, Lilly. My Myoki, I haven't done that much on. I've worked probably an extra 3 inches down the body since I last saw you. So it's coming along. I don't think it's going to be done for this spring. It's going to definitely aim for autumn. But if we have summer like last year, it'd probably be a summer as well. But I have got another project that's nearly finished, and then I will have more time for my Myoki, if I can find it. We have to surround ourselves by all our things we want to share, don't we? And the one I have really cracked on with this month is my love note. Last night, watching the golf till silly o'clock, I managed to get the welt down the bottom. I've done the extra rows at the back for short row shaping, which gives it a longer hem. It looks lovely on. I have just started one of the sleeves. The other sleeve is on hold, and I'm in 2 minds of which sleeve to do. I like short sleeves, and I love bracelet length sleeves, so I may do a fair bit of this and try it on and see how I feel, and then I can work on it some more maybe. I have quite a fair bit of yarn left. I have a whole skein of, this is Fibre Space Vivacious in Verdigris, and it's held with Kid Silk Haze in 611. And it's unbelievably soft. I'll possibly need that if we have another summer like we did last year. I'm tending to lean towards a bracelet length or just below elbow length, but we'll see. And once that one's done, because I'm not far off finishing really, I can get on with my Miyuki. Other than that, I think I've shown you all my knitting. I haven't bought anything this month, apart from one interesting one. I saw somebody had a lot of an eBay lot with some darning yarns. Now I collect quite a few of these. I have these in my basket here. This is all my neutrals and my darning yarns in a sari basket. Like most of you, I've probably been to so many shows and picked up a hank of sari yarn, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I made them into baskets. I have quite a lot of these, and they're handy for gathering together these darning threads. This one has all my white neutrals in it, and I'll show you another one in a minute that I'm using. The pack also came with this normal darning mushroom, which I'm pleased to have because I cannot find my other original darning mushroom anywhere. And you know what it's like when you have a clear out. It's to tidy up, but you can't find anything. But the other thing that came with it was this stocking darner. And this was broken under here, which I've managed to mend. And the top has a lovely pricked patina on it where it's been used and used and used, and this is the toe part, and that is so well used. I hate to think how many stocking toes that has actually darned or had held over it while they were being darned. Of course my first thought was, oh, do I rub it so it's nice and smooth? And I thought, no, there's some person has spent hours darning and it's all part of its history, and I'm not going to darn stockings, but I've got something that's a precious tool and was probably a valuable tool at some time, because these were 100 years ago, more. So yeah, I was really pleased to have that in with all those darning threads with the other normal mushroom, which I will need to do for my normal darning. I have a finish in the sewing department, and that is my Bright's 9 patch quilt, which I showed you last time. I picked out some fabrics to make a binding, and I've just scrappied the binding on, and that was a lovely couple of hours sewing it on and onto the back. And then it went into the machine and had a good wash, and because I use cotton batting wadding, it's all scooched up, which gives it that lovely quilt look, which I really enjoy looking at and feeling, and it just makes them feel homely and want to be used. So I'm pleased with that, and all the markings have come off where I marked the patterns on for quilting. So that truly is finished now. So while I was doing it, I was thinking, what am I going to do next in the fabric way of things? Now, last year, in fact, I think it was 2022, I made this. I had in that cupboard there, I had some copy paper boxes which are A4 and 5 reams deep, so 12 inches deep. I had about 4 of those with oddments and scraps and little bits of fabric that weren't doing anything, weren't really up, and were all different shapes and sizes. I couldn't have even made sort of 4-inch squares out of any of them. I'd been given quite a few of them when I used to be part of a quilting group, so I wanted to clear them, and I made these scrappy blocks. They're 10 inches square each, with the sashing. Being at 2 inches. So that's 40 inches plus sashing wide, and 60 plus sashing inches long. I've had it folded up with the wadding since I finished it in 2022. The sashings are pretty burgundy with a pattern on it. And each of the blocks, of course, none of them are the same. It was a fabulous make it up as I go along method. I just kept making the new fabric until it was large enough, and I've had it with the wadding, and I found this as a backing fabric. I think it came from Cotton Patch. Now it is backing wide, so I think it's 105 wide. Is that the width of a backing fabric? It is. Radiance 108 Quilt Back by Colour Principle for Henry Glasgow. I know it came in the pale colours and the black colour. I think there was another colourway as well. And I think it was Cotton Patch I got it from. Like I said, it was a couple of years ago I bought it. When I laid it up with the wadding and the quilt top, it is exactly the same size as the quilt top. So what I am planning on doing is to get, I have one box of the fabric scraps left now. There's not many left at all, which I'm so excited about. I'm going to make a long strip and cut this fabric in half, insert the strip, then relayer it up, and I will be able to quilt them up together. And I think that one I will be doing on the machine rather than hand this time. I love doing hand quilting, but I have so many other things to do at the same time. Excuse me. And it does take a lot of time. So watch this space with that one. I may show you how I make the bitty fabric, which could be interesting. Also using scraps of fabric, I have just made some lavender sachets. They are being in my other sari yarn bowl. I had some leftover Liberty fabrics for, I made some elephants some time ago, and these were the leftover scraps. So I turned them into sachets. And my little room here smells of lavender and cedar oil, because I always put a few drops of cedar oil in as well. We do have moths, which can be a problem, and it's the start of the season. So I will be putting those in drawers and corners and wardrobes and stashes and project bags, and hopefully that's a natural deterrent to keep the little blighters away. Also in sewing, I haven't got any further with my Owl and the Pussycat gold work. I haven't had the patience for it at the moment. But I did have some other things that needed sorting. A couple of years ago, I bought a kit from Corey's little shop, and this is the scarab beetle. I'm sorry it's behind glass. If you go to her website, you could probably see better pictures of it when it's finished. It's very 3D. I think you can see that there. It's safe behind glass. I did think about having it in a frame without the glass, but they just get dusty and dirty, especially in my house with the dogs. And last December, I finished her owl. He has lifted up wings. Again, I'll link her below. Now, he's been pinned up on my work board since December. One of the reasons was I did a silly mistake. There is a backing fabric under here of a nice thin calico. You can just see it there, which is the piece I should have put in the hoop on its own, and I put that and the linen in the hoop. And when I took it out, of course, the linen had bruised and left a strange circle, which I did think about when I'm going to have it framed. I'll probably take it into town. I'm going to town on Wednesday, so I will probably take it into my framer there, and I think I'll ask her if she can do a circle mount, which will look nice. But this is the third time I've stretched this. I've gently washed it and stretched it and washed it, but every time it's dried, it's left the mark where the circle was. So this is the last time of drying. And like I said, I will get the framer to put it in a circle mount, I think, and then a square frame. But that will be nice to have on the wall and not collecting dust in my studio. And lastly, in the sewing, I have in my bedroom a dressing table, and I have like it was an old tray cloth, very old tray cloth, and I backed it and quilted it, finally quilted it, and it's just been there for years and it's just looking grotty now. I do wash it regularly. I am a wet makeup wearer, and it does collect bits of makeup, which stays kid in bits on the actual dressing table. So I thought, I'm going to make myself a new one. I was looking through fabrics of what to make, and some years ago I was making a start on a piece of patchwork called Patchwork of the Crosses, and it's all these diamonds. I didn't get terribly far. I have the diamonds cut and ready, and the template to fussy cut the fabrics, and I have quite a lot of the fabrics chosen. I have an awful lot of Ginny Bear leftovers from a couple of quilts I've made of hers, so I was using those as a English paper piecing patchwork. And if you look in the book of the Patchwork of Lucy Boston, she has a Patchwork of the Crosses quilt in here. Hope you can see that okay. It's just a different shape to work with than our usual hexagons. So as I got these pieces cut out already, I also found a pack of Hoffman Bali batiks. My bedroom is cream and Odinil duck egg blue, very pale colours, this kind of colour. So I thought I could make some pieces out of that and pop that into my jewellery box sewing kit that I made last time, and that can be my English paper piecing kit. I know batik isn't always the best for hand sewing because it's so tightly woven, but I've had this for years as well, so it's got to be used. I have a need. I can start and see how I go. I can but try. So that's all my makes so far. You're up to date with everything. Last week I went to Crufts with the rescue, and I was delighted to talk to a gentleman who I didn't know, but I explained to him everything about what our rescue does and who we are and how we operate. And then a few hours later he came back and he awarded us the Breed Club Stand Gun Dog Group trophy. Now you probably can't see that. There we go. And I am so proud of myself for winning this beautiful glass trophy for our rescue. We're all proud of ourselves for our little rescue, to be honest. I find it very difficult to talk to people. I find this excruciatingly painful to talk to you on a camera, and to talk to strangers in a room is frightening to me, but I actually turned around and talked to this man. He was stood there looking at what we were doing, and I just explained, and he was over the moon with how I explained everything. So yeah, I'm coming out of my shell. Well, that's everything I can think of for the moment. Again, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I am so blown away by all of your kind words, and it's just a joy. I hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, I will put some links down below to Lilly the Bee and a couple of the other quarries shop, and I hope you go over and give them a look as well. Bye.